I did it again. I did it again. Forgot to unmute my mic. Being silly as always. Happy Thursday, everyone. How you guys doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's go ahead and pop up chat. Get the music going. Switch over. Like I said, guys, just let me know if you want me to change the song. Fortunately, like I still don't have working headphones. At least the ones I usually use to stream with. So just bear with me. Yeah, let's go ahead and pop up chat. Let's say hello. Let's see how you guys are doing. Chat. Pop out chat. Oh, this is an easy one today. Alif, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. All right, let's switch over. All right. Supreme Cat, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you, as always. How you doing? Happy Thursday, guys. We're a little quiet today. So, first things first, we are slowly starting to possibly make a move to the downside here. I know the title says Bitcoin dump incoming, which it still can. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's gonna happen by a specific time. You guys know how I do things. Unfortunately, it's just a matter of waiting for levels to be tested, broken, and then we take it the next step, or we wait for the next step. Once 29,350 breaks, then we can start looking for hopefully a lot lower. It could be one of those situations to where we just keep finding support on like slightly lower lows or something like that, something that creates like a really weird channel. And I don't spend too much time on a smaller time frame because of stuff like that. Joe, good to see you as well. How you doing? Let's go ahead and just shout out today's sponsor of the stream quick, which I do not have prepared again. No, I don't. Shoot. I knew I forgot something. Please hold, guys. Please hold. Please don't make me log in again. Oh, you sap. I gotta start. Oh, this is annoying. What account is this? Come on. I'm gonna go with this one, see what happens. And we're gonna do the password. Do I still have this? Let's see. Okay. All right, let's do. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to be a little bit more organized, but to be honest, I don't know if I'm about to log into, because I have two different accounts on Fairdesk, and I don't know which one I'm about to log into, so it doesn't really matter. Come on. I get faster at doing this, or at least, get used to doing this before stream. All right. Confirm too. This is fantastic. I apologize, guys. I apologize. Okay, this is a swing account. All right, I had a feeling this would be a swing account. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and talk about today's sponsor of the stream, which is going to be Fairdesk. So if you guys are looking for a new exchange to test out, Fairdesk is a great platform, especially for us ABC traders. Everything's very clear, concise. The UI is really good. Fees are not that bad. I haven't had any issues with Fairdesk besides user error, me being stupid. So yeah, if you guys want to check it out, I would really appreciate it. If you guys check out the link in the description below. It does come back to support me, as well as Fairdesk is paying me to talk about them every stream. So just letting you guys know that if you if you sign up, deposit, and trade, I do get a cut of your fee. So if you do want to try a new exchange, I'm just letting you know that if you do sign up with the link in the description below, it does come back to support me, but it's not required. And as always, guys, I always say this, regardless of what exchange you use, even if it's Bybit, right? You know, we know Bybit is the top dog in this game. Regardless of what exchange you use, always be careful with how you deposit your funds. Never, ever put all your funds into one account at one time. Try to keep enough to take a couple trades with, deposit more if needed, but never put your entire stack into one exchange, because things could be okay now, and next thing you know, you might have issues tomorrow or even within the same day. You know, who knows what's going to happen in the future. So just be careful, but if you do sign up, I really greatly appreciate it. So let's go ahead and go back to the scheduled programming here. Let's talk about what's going on here. Let's see. Steven, hello. Daily time frame looks to dump. I think so. I definitely think so. You may, good to see you, my friend. Do you think Bitcoin will fall to 27K? Yeah. If we continue, if I'm aiming, or I'm looking for, if we are going to dump, I'm looking for a much larger move, probably back down to 19.5. If not, most bearish case scenario, below 15,000 again. Supreme cap. 5 months sober, feel like celebrating. That's awesome, Alif. Congratulations, my friend. Love to hear that. Kramer is bearish, 100K next week confirmed. That's a good one, you man. I like that. Let's see. Johnny, if you trade with a larger account, do you adjust the stop loss to make it bigger, or everything else remains the same? So I will use less risk and I will use larger stop losses. So right now I use, I think 5% risk. Oh, sorry, not 5% risk. 5% stop loss on my BTC trades, and then I use about 1.5% risk. Because usually, so my golden rule is, it depends on how much you have to play with. I like to say, if you have, let's say you have, I don't know, let's make it easy. Actually, no. Let's say you have like $60,000. All right, I'm not saying I have $60,000 to trade with. I'm just saying in general. Let's say you have 60 grand to play with. It's a lot of money. What I would do from there is I would take a third of that, which is about 20,000. Use that as my swing trading account. I will still use about 3% risk. Actually, no, the math is less. Hold on. I can't do math. Yeah, so instead of using my full account and risking 1%, I'll cut my account into thirds, or whatever math you want to do it by, and then I'll just use 3% risk again. So instead of, it'd be a lot easier to just go based off of that. So 20,000, 3% of risk, and I'll use about a 5 to 6% stop loss depending on the coin. If it's on an altcoin, I'll probably give myself a little bit more of a stop loss. If it's like something like Sol, I'll probably go like 8%, something like that. Just because I'm just trying to focus on larger moves, the largest possible swings that I can possibly take. And using those risk parameters, if you risk 3% of 20 grand, that's still about $600 risk. $600 risk on if you can get a 10 R&R, pretty decent. So it really depends on what you want to do. That's kind of like how I approach it. So I'll use like a third or a quarter, depending on what the size of the account is, and I'll just dedicate that. If I lose that, then I'll just go on to, but you would have to lose a lot of trades in a row in order to blow an account like that. So let's see. Beta Bye, you know, my friend, good to see you. I sold my AXS. Don't say pump it. I'll take a look at that here in a second. Crypto Dylan, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Smurf, good to see you as well. First dump, then a pumped. We gained the weekly level. I don't know what the weekly level is. I mean, maybe. I have no idea. To me, like, everything that happens in between this range doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't matter to me. I need to see a significant break or significant break above or below out of this range. That's when things are gonna get a little bit more exciting. All right, so let's talk about price action here. First things first, you guys, if you guys don't know, just get a quick reminder. All right, on the larger time frame, all right, we have an A to a B to a C. As long as we're below 31K, that's going to be a substantial pivot to go ahead and possibly give us a much larger reversal in the market. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, if we go up to the larger time frame, or consider this the macro, I would say, if we go to the macro time frame, you look at the possible idea of how this larger structure is playing out or how it's developing. One of the first things I want to look at is understanding the larger picture of what the possible structure can be, or what the possible ideas of how this is playing out can develop, if that makes sense. So pretty much what I'm going to do in order to figure this out is start from the beginning of a trend or the end of it, or I don't know, I'm mixing up my words here for some reason. The beginning of a larger trend or the end of the previous larger trend. In this case, the end of the bull market, beginning of the bear market, we're going to start here. All right, A to a B to a C. Now, the question is this the beginning or the end of something? If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, pretty much what I like to do is I'll draw ABCs in either direction. And what we'll do is sometimes the position will actually go initially in your favor. All right, and what'll end up happening is price will find some sort of support resistance depending on which direction you're trading, and it'll actually continue against or go back against you. And what ends up happening is your original ABC actually becomes part of a larger ABC. So now you're left with a new set of ABCs. That's the best way to describe the beginning or the end of something, or that when I talk about that, that's the best way to describe it. So first things first, we have an ABC. Question is, if this is the beginning of something, we have to look at this as a possible A. All right, and if we look at what's going on here, we have an ABC. This could possibly give us a much larger B wave. All right, and then the bearish case scenario is going to be that we go ahead and actually put in a lower low. Now, I'm not too like focused on where price is going to go. You know, that's not what we do here. I'm not really worried about exactly what price is going to bottom at. All I know is if we do put in a lower low, that is going to be completing a larger setup. But all we need to do, or all we need to wait for after that, is price to reclaim that pivot, maybe retest, and then take the position. This is going to be a substantial potential shift in momentum, in my opinion. If we do go ahead and put in that lower low and we do find some sort of support relatively soon and end up pumping back up, that's going to be a significant buy signal, in my opinion. So it's something that I'm definitely worth considering, and I definitely think it's a valid option and something I'd be buying heavily into if this does happen. That is the bearish case scenario. The bullish case scenario is kind of this could be broken up into two different ways. So this ABC is actually the end of the bear market. This is all we get, and now we can focus on what's going on here. So we still have an ABC. All right, which still indicates a bearish potential pattern. Now, if this is going to be part of a larger bullish uptrend, this is actually part of a larger A. We're looking for a larger B. Now we can just come back down, test 25K as support, but most likely I'm looking for at least 19, if not lower, and then we continue up. The key thing here is to wait and see if price actually goes ahead and breaks the previous low. As long as you don't break below the previous low, this can be considered a bullish setup. So that's one variation. The other variation, it really depends on where price finds support at. Maybe we're not done. Another argument you can make is that maybe we're kind of still developing here. All right, and maybe if I go down to a smaller time frame, I can show you guys. Maybe we're working on some sort of, I don't know, A to a B to a C scenario. Something like that. I don't know. Maybe we get one more extension to the high, get a false break of 32K, and then come back below. Definitely possible. I'm not counting that out, but as long as we're below our bearish pivot, to me, the probabilities to the downside are in slightly more in the favor. I don't like how this is taking forever to actually make it, or taking forever the price to actually make a decision off of. Let's see. No problem. Bidarius, how you doing, my friend? If we not make a lower low weekly, then it's good. Yeah, I think so. It's possible. Smoking Burrow, good to see you, my friend. How you doing? The 3 daily and weekly looks dumping. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I mean, this has been looking bearish for the longest time. I've been bearish on this ever since we put in this higher high. Around 31K back in, when was this? The end of June. So, Drew, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And now we have to look for supports below us. We'll talk about that. So supports below is going to be, is the music playing? Okay, cool. So supports below, first we got to take one level at a time. First we have 29,350. We break below that, we have the pivot of this A here, which is off of this ABC, which, guys, I'm still long off of. I haven't given up this position yet. But, you know, as we can continue to kind of slowly make our way back down, eventually I'm probably going to be more on the side that we're going to be probably dumping and maybe taking this level out or taking this structure out, which is fine. I'm okay with taking that loss, but I do have the positions to cover me just in case. But I'm not going to give this up just because I think we might be bearish, because you never know. I could be wrong, and we can go straight up, shoot past 32K, and next you know, we're on a bull run to 48K. Definitely in the cards as well. So, wait, the pivot of that A. Ultimately, I'm looking for the previous low off of the local low at around 24,800, around there. All right, and if that breaks, I'm going to be more inclined to aim for 19.5, but I think there is a pit stop at around 21.3. So just keep that in mind. There's really no, I guess, good sequence or good pockets of support, but these supports are pretty significant below, in my opinion, just because we do have a lot of room in between. But to me, when I see something like this, it kind of gives you an idea that these supports are going to be pretty strong. So it's going to be hard for me to just say we're going to go straight down and take all these out. Almost the same way to the upside. We have about 31K, which is a previous pivot off of this A. You can make an argument for the previous high around 31,850. All right, but if we go ahead and continue to the upside, all right, 32,450 is the ultimate level I'm looking for price to see how it responds to. I thought I did something with this. I thought I turned this off. Apply to all. There. So if we break 32K and continue to the upside, we have to look. We basically have to go back in the previous trends, look at support. There's a pit stop at around probably 43K. But to be honest, if we are going to keep pumping, I think 48K is most likely the highest area of resistance that we're going to go ahead and test in that region. My only worry is that so many TA said we've broken the long downtrend resistance. Or did you mean to say resistance? And we are on the edge of a massive pump while on one TA say that we will crash next week or the next week. Yeah. Unfortunately, like, you're going to find a lot of that, beta bot. The most important thing I think to understand and look for is look how price responds to each levels of areas of supports. Look to see where price can go next, see how it responds, and take it accordingly. I'm not trying to be looking into one direction too much. Even though we do talk about the possibilities on the larger scale, I back that up based off of the previous price levels. All right, I'm not looking for exact, I'm not looking for exponential numbers to each side. I'm just gonna let you guys know that, look, if this is going to play out a certain way, we need to go ahead and respond and, you know, allow price to develop the structure as it wants to. If we are going to be bearish, right, I'm just saying that in order for us to complete the structure, we have to break 15.4. Do I think it's going to happen? Not necessarily, but I think it can happen. The bullish option, I always say when we come back down to forming an ABC like this, I'm going to be on the side that we're probably going to find support around 19.5. I only take that into consideration because I need to find a little bit more of a development of the structure itself. And as well as you got to understand that I can't be too bullish, or I don't want to be too bullish, is because the only thing I can really consider besides looking at price action is understanding that when it comes to the timing of things, now I don't look at timing as a serious factor, except, or the only exception I'll make is that we need to understand that the Bitcoin halving does have an impact on price, or at least has an impact on when cycles change. So usually the bull run starts about 3 to 6 months after the halving. So, you know, take that into consideration. The halving, let's see, did they update the time? All right, so according to this, we have about till April 16th, 2024. So what is that? 9-10 months. I've seen this number change because I know as blocks are continuing to be mined, it can change. It's about 3 to 6 months after. You got to take into consideration any time between probably this time next year all the way up to about maybe October. I would say anywhere from this time next year to October is when we could start looking for a much larger push to the upside. So to me, it doesn't make sense to start being too bullish so fast. We need price to actually develop and kind of retest areas of support. We haven't really done that, in my opinion. We created support on the way up, but we haven't really come back down to test those yet. Drew, who's your sponsor? I'm sponsored by Fairdesk. So you guys can see in this way on the banner next to me. And as well as you guys check out the link in the description below. It does come back to support me if you do want to sign up, trade and deposit and trade, but you don't have to. You don't have to. J Trader, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Yep, all is good. Hope you're doing well. Aru, what's up? How you doing, man? Good to see you. This is a strong level. Can you look at AXS USD, please? What about LTC? Will it pump harder than any alts or just a short pump? I'll take a look at that in a second, yeah. 270 days till April 16th. Yeah, so it's not that far. It's not that far. Bull run has already started. I don't know, but I don't think so, Steven. I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced. The only reason why is because of the halving. Unless you want to count, like, let's go back into... I personally think we are here. I think we're right around here somewhere. So we had our initial bear run. We came up to retest, all right? And now we're kind of forming or consolidating at a important resistance. Unfortunately, we didn't get an ABC here. But we're kind of forming some sort of consolidation. We're going to dump, eventually make our way back down and form an ABC. This is what I think is the most probable thing or the most probable structure I think price is going to form during this retest. We came back down and tested areas of support. All right, we didn't test all of them, but we tested most of them. You can see we came back down, broke certain levels, retested, then came back up. You can see price even came up, rejected at some of these pivots, eventually broke through, and then that's when we started to go ahead and yeah. Eventually, as we went ahead and started to go ahead and actually form ranges, create some sort of actual larger term potential bull run, and then eventually we popped. So I don't think we're there yet. I think, like I said, I personally think we're in the point or in the pivot of this area here. So if we are going to do that, all right, if we are going to follow suit, all right, we got to go back down, test areas of support. Something like that. And eventually make our way back up. But we can absolutely put in a lower low. Things can be different. This is my opinion. What about LTC? Will it pump harder than any alt or just a short pump? Did it pump recently? LTC, same thing. Longs are below 107. I'm bearish. We're 106. I'm bearish. I don't have any expectations for it. All right, let's look at AXS for beta bot. Let's see. You said you sold, right? Worst case scenario, beta bot. You know, I always say this when it comes to like my my spot positions. I'm not sure when you sold, but let's just say you sold right now. Worst case scenario, you can always buy back in if it pumps a little bit against you and let it run. All right. And so if you do get stopped out of that short, you buy back in, you have the potential to test higher. So let's see. So I did AXS. What else? I mean, if you guys want me to look at stuff, let me know. Let's do ETH. I haven't done ETH in a while. Yeah, so ETH is in the same position, kind of going sideways. We do have a potential to form a larger ABC as a potential bullish setup. That would be a good setup that I would definitely take. We did complete a bearish structure. Now the question is the beginning or the end of something? This could be a situation to where ETH can actually go ahead and put in a B wave and actually look for an extension higher. Put in one more ABC. Something like that. That is definitely possible. And maybe that could be the end of that. I'm not the biggest fan of that one. I'm gonna go with that. Maybe we're done here. We put in an A, or at least, at the very least, put in a larger B wave, and then we can continue to look higher or look for higher. Predicting the future is impossible. Just price action trading. Yeah. I would say I'm not. Yeah, it's impossible. Predicting the future is impossible, but you can understand market structures and get an idea of where we're at. Not saying I can sit here and make predictions about exactly what's going to happen, but at the same time, when it comes to market patterns, market structures, history tends to rhyme, not repeat. So, like I said before for BTC, I think there's definitely a reason. If we are going to kind of rhyme from last year or the last bear market into the last bull run, the exact same thing. We came back up, retested. We need to pull back, and then we can continue higher. That is, ideally probably what is going to happen. But at the same time, things can change. You never know. Things can change. I'm just trying to show you guys what is possible. History tends to rhyme, not repeat. Jay, are you good? That was actually a great quote. Yeah. Thank you, Aru. Make sure if you do use that, tag or quote and make sure you let them know it came from me. Just kidding. Let's see. Let's do. I'm in an H bar schlong. They're fighting it out. Take a look at H bar. Okay. I can see that elite, but you know, I'm sure you know. That's pretty much all I have for H bar. Thoughts on the new FedNow payment system? I think the country is going to, at least I feel like a lot of places, the larger first world countries in the world are going to be trying to make a shift over to digital currency. It's going to be some sort of form of federal payment system, USDCs. So I think we're definitely on track to go there. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's inevitable, or you can't avoid it. I don't know why I can't say that word, so I just say you can't avoid it. So yeah, I'm trying to think of what else. Do I have any other opinions on that? Try your best to not incorporate that. I love how people would be like, you got to live off grid, like you can't do this, don't be a part of the thing. I'm like, eventually you're not gonna have no choice. You can't escape it unless you plan on living in the woods, growing your own food in your backyard, using Starlink. Like there's no way to avoid that kind of system. Now I'm not saying that's going to happen soon. I think in the next 10 20 years it's going to be almost impossible to get around. So Rune, please. Let's do Rune. All right, so for Rune, the first thing I see, potential bullish setup here. So if we put in that lower low past around 968, sorry, 0968, that's gonna be our that's gonna be our next bullish setup. So keep that in mind. Ultimately, I think what'll be a better structure of the trade is this one here. So even if, let's say we come back down here, even if we don't, I'm just going to say we do. Ultimately, you're looking for a cross above $1.10. So if we can get a cross back above that and then reclaim that level below, that's going to be a short entry. This would be the ideal situation, but I would tend, or what I would want to do in this kind of case, or in this scenario, is similar to what we did for BTC, is try to get yourself in a long position and a short position. Because I can sit here and say one is favored over the other. But I can sit here and say one's favored over the other, but it could be one of those scenarios that it just plays out one direction anyway. You just don't know. I'd rather you play both sides and allow the position to basically figure itself out versus you take one position, not take the other, and miss out. So that's kind of where I'm at. So either wait for a cross below 0968, 097. And then hold it and then short once you get back above and then back below 110. Or you can just, if we don't get back above that level, I would just wait for the 110 short. That's pretty much it for Rune. Let's see, XMR, please. All right, so XMR had this beautiful ABC setup. So if we can get back above there. So the only thing I could say that we have coming up next for XMR is this setup here. So if we can get back above and then reclaim this level below, that's going to be a very significant area for me to go ahead and consider taking a short off of. But you guys know me, that's not how I do things. Right? I don't play XMR just because it's way too choppy. I don't like how choppy this coin is, but that's something like that I'd be looking for. Let's see. Oh shit, I lost where I was in chat. OP. BTC is predicting the future. Yeah. I think BTC is about to break out, been consolidating for so long. Yes, I definitely agree. What time frames do you trade? So to me, it's not necessarily about time frames, Steven. It's about perspective, right? So like I could sit here and give you a time frame, but what people tend to do is let's say I say 2 hour, right? Let's say, you know, I mostly trade on a 2 hour. And some people's heads, they'll be like, okay, 2 hour, and they'll just do this. All right, how can I trade this? No, that's not what it's about. It's about understanding the larger perspective, zooming out and making sure you can see everything, right? For me, a 2 hour works because I can see available price action that's relevant. If I need to zoom out a little bit more, I don't need to zoom out that much more. I feel like the 2 hours is like a good middle ground. I would say the lowest I would go is probably a 1 hour to a 30 minute, but I try to stick to a 2 hour and look for larger setups. So I know it really also depends on what kind of monitor you guys are using. I've had people in the past who have done sessions with who have had, you know, 1440p, 48-inch ultra curved monitors, ultra wide monitors. You know, they can use a 15-minute time frame. Like my 2 hour is the equivalent to a 15-minute time frame. So it depends on your computer screen. If you're using something smaller or something that's less resolution, you know, you might have to go to a 3 to 4 hour. If you're using your phone, like when I do if I look at price action on my phone or look at prices in general, I tend to go to like an 8 hour to a daily, where I can see, like, just to give you an example, you know, I have a wider screen on my phone. Come on. Yeah. See, that's enough for me to see what's going on an 8 hour. So it really depends on what, you know, monitor you have. But ultimately, you want to be able to see as much price action as you can and then look for ABCs there. Even if you weren't looking at the entire trend, you could have saw this one. Exact same one. Let's see. All right, let's go back to OP. Sorry about that, Supreme Cat. Just wanted to just touch on that. OP is very similar to what was that one coin I looked at? Rune. We have that short setup there. I really don't see anything else, to be honest. That's probably the main setup I would be looking to take if I were trading this coin. The only problem is that you can see we got a little choppy in this region. So I would probably, since, you know, this is a smaller cap coin, I probably would use like a 6% stop. Target much lower. That's the ideal situation. But what'll be nice to see if you get an ABC like this. Sorry, my eye itches. That would be ideal situation, but I know things aren't always ideal. So we're gonna go ahead and just stick with one step at a time, see what price wants to do. That's gonna be the ideal setup though. Let's see. I gotta go get some rest now. Thanks for the TA. No problem, my friend. Thank you so much, BetaBot, for stopping by. It's always good to see you. Red Revelation, none escape it. Yeah, it is true. Johnny, is there much profit in mining Caspa? Alif, you're asking the wrong person. I have no idea. I'm long POS on OPUSDT from Bybit. $1.20 seems like it is up right now, but slowly declining. There's a good chance, Supreme Cat, based off of that setup, there's a good chance that we can retrace lower, or at least have a pullback. We don't understand space and time. That says Stephen Hawking. Yes, that is absolutely true. It's all about perspective. We don't know anything. Our perspective is nothing compared to all right, Johnny, I'm done with your chart layout. Let's change it back. I just changed it, Alif. It's been like, what, 2 weeks? 3 weeks? Oh, looking for my water right in front of me. How's the DXY doing? Let's check the DXY. Oh, would you look at that, guys? Not saying we're in the clear yet, but be aware that the DXY did put in a lower low. All right, we did complete an ABC setup. Right, this is on a 3-hour time frame. This is pretty significant. So if we actually did complete this setup, this is a much larger potential bullish move. Let's see. How's Kite doing? I haven't talked to him in actually quite a while. Actually, I Snapchatted him last night and he responded. We didn't really we were just making jokes. We haven't really like talked to each other in a while. He's just out being Kite. Doing Kite things. Nah, he's been door dashing late. This guy will go at like 4 or 5 p.m. and he'll stay all the way out till like 2 a.m., which is insane. Apparently he makes good money doing so I can't knock him for it. Hopefully he'll be back soon. I can't dictate whether or not he will, but it's been a while. It's actually been probably close to almost a week since I talked to him. I'll send him a message later. See when you stop being stinky and start hanging out with us again. Oh, I did not mean to pop that up. Let's FaceTime him right now. Nah, I think he's still sleeping, to be honest. I think he's still sleeping. I could see his status on. If he was online on Discord, maybe I would call him. But I think he's sleeping still. So I'm not gonna bother him. Yeah, DXY is looking pretty good. So we'll see how that correlates to BTC. How any other assets responding to this? Dow Jones is still going up. All right, SPY. How's the SPY doing? SPY almost came up to retest that resistance under 462. Ooh, oh, look at that. The Dow Jones had a perfect. Or the US 100, sorry. The US 100 had a really good retest of that resistance level. They got rejected slightly. Pretty good. XRP doing XRP things. Let's see. Thought on what the BTC, the top of BTC will be the next bull run. Did you set up that 88 short? I did not, but I got into Sol. To be honest, I don't like how much this pumped. I'm not a biggest fan of the structure. So to be honest, I went with Sol because Sol had a better setup. So I'm still shorting Sol. So instead of 88, I'm just gonna short Sol instead. Let's say 10k max for ETH. So like how I do it is, I think the best way to do this, we need to go back to the BLX chart. Is what I like to do is I like to measure basically the breakouts and see how much they, let's see how much of a percentage did we go up from here. So I'm gonna make a note of this. So let's see, what was this? The 2014 35x. Can I go one more? Okay, 2014 and 2017. 15x. So let me just pull up. I want to pull up an extra side note here with the calculator because I want to see something. So pretty much it's about divisible by 2 every time. Actually, no, what's this one? Did I do this right? 15x. So I would say let's say a 2.5x. So I mean, I would say maybe if anything, you have to understand that these pumps are going to get more and more. How do I say this? Oh, sorry, not more. Less and less exaggerated. I would say a good top is probably going to be, I'm going to say realistically, probably literally only like 120, 130K. I really don't see price going up that high. I could be wrong. If something's different, the only thing I would say possibly that might be different is maybe because this was so short that maybe we'll get a continuation higher. I'm not too convinced. But I would say 120K, 130K is a good realistic perspective of where price can go. That's just me though. Sorry, I'm not an ultra bull. But yeah, over the course of time, supply and demand, when it comes to like supply shocks, one of the things with the Bitcoin happening that I've learned, I forgot the guy's name who did this, but he did an interview with Anthony Pompliano. This was a couple months ago, but he talked about this in a really good way. He said, think of the Bitcoin happening as you trying to splash water, right? If you were to take a bathtub of water, right, or a bathtub filled with water, take your hand, hit it as hard as you can, it'll disrupt the, water would splash everywhere and make a lot of waves. Water would spill over the edges of the bathtub. It has a big effect, right? Then you buy like an outdoor pool, right? So you buy like a smaller outdoor pool. You do the same thing. You take your hand, hit it as hard as you can. It'll make a splash. It'll make some waves, but the water is not going all over the place. You're not spilling water that much. It's not making that much of an effect. All right. And let's say you go into a small lake. all right, or a larger body of water than that. Do the same thing. Take your hand, splash it as hard as you can. It'll make a little bit of a splash. It'll make some ripples, but it won't really affect the flow of the lake. And then do this. Try to do the same thing in the ocean, right? Swim in the middle of the ocean, splash as hard as you can. It's not going to do anything. It's the exact same thing with the Bitcoin supply shock or having supply shocks. Is that the supply shocks are still going to happen regardless every 4 years, 4 to 5 years. But you also have to understand is that those supply shocks are going to be less and less significant to the point to where it's going to cause way less of an effect that you would want it to. So just understand that. At some point, it's going to be all of it more about price action itself and actual, how people buy it or how it's used. If Bitcoin becomes more popular, then there's a greater chance of price actually going higher. If there's a better case to where we get more money flowing into the market, yes, I would say potentially we can go look for much higher prices. But if you're thinking we're going to go to 200K anytime soon, I think that's a little ridiculous. But I've been wrong before. I've been wrong before, and I wouldn't mind. And hey, I wouldn't be mine if I was wrong again. I'm also curious about something. Let's look at something. Johnny, why don't you look at USDT? Because it doesn't really matter to me. Like, I can't plot ABCs off of Bitcoin dominance. It really doesn't matter to me. 120K makes perfect sense. Johnny, we were wrong about the Indian market. Nifty 50, it's pumping hard. Let's see. Is it the first one? Is it a multi-cap? Oh, here it is. Well, what I said was, as long as it sustains below. So you can see we fought here for a little bit, but then we just ended up going. So I would have attempted it at least once. If not, if this is a scenario to where, you're not trading with leverage, you're just buying and selling, this is how I would do it. Give yourself like a good amount of room. All right. Sell if it gets below. All right. But if you get stopped out, just buy back in. And you would have made, you'd be up 6% right now. So, I said it'd be bearish as long as we're below, but we came back up. So to me, if I wanted to take a short position or a sell position, I would have sold and bought back in once we got above a certain price. By the way, love the time of the stream. Just saying. Yeah, I try to go for 1 o'clock. For me, it's just for some reason I just don't take offense to this, but for some reason lately it's been really hard for me to be strict when it comes to streaming. Just because I have a lot of stuff in my personal life going on. I still want to make sure I get here every Sunday. Yeah, so I made a decision. I'm going to try to aim for doing Sunday later. I don't know what time yet, but I'm going to try. Instead of just skipping out, I'm going to just end up streaming later on Sunday. The majority of people wanted later Sunday stream, so we're going to do that instead. And then I'm going to do basically what I'm trying to say is what I'm trying to do is make sure I get the streams out for you guys regardless. But yeah, I've been kind of slacking when it comes to being strict on time. To me, don't take this, like I said, it's got a lot of stuff going on. So it's just hard for me to just kind of be a little bit more strict when it comes to my timing. We appreciate your time. No problem, Drew. No problem. Like I said, it's at the end of the day, it's I like being able to go on here and talk about this and be able to help you guys navigate trading better. I don't have to do this. I mean, I don't have to do this, but to me, it would either be this or work. Work full time. And I don't want to work full time, so I'd rather do this. At some point, I do like I think somewhat coming here soon within the next, because let's see, not this week, but yeah, so I'm here for one more week, and then I'm going on vacation for a week. After we get back from vacation, I'm gonna be a lot more serious when it comes to a lot of different things. I'm gonna start building. So I basically have an area. I have another dedicated area I have where I'm gonna build a small studio space and start making more pre-recorded videos. I usually have like the green screen behind me, but I don't like doing pre-recorded videos with the green screen. I don't know why. It just doesn't feel right to me. So I'm actually gonna be buying some stuff to actually get a small home studio set up together. Nothing crazy, just some backdrop stuff, some lighting. I have a, like, you guys can't see this, but I have like a camera stand. You guys see that? I might be blind to you guys right now. I'm sorry. Yeah. So you can see this is a camera stand. I'm using it for the light right now. But we're gonna be using that to mount the camera. I'm getting a microphone mount for the microphone that I'm gonna bring to the recording location. So I'm gonna start recording more videos. I want to try to get my videos out there a little bit more. I want to, yeah, pretty much it. So at some point I'm gonna be dedicating more time to pre-recorded stuff because I've always wanted to do that. So yeah. Johnny, do you ever take a look at DeFi projects? Not really, a leaf. Doesn't really interest me. Damn, Johnny starting OnlyFans? No, guys. How many times do I tell you guys this? I'm not doing OnlyFans. Oh. Gonna miss you, Johnny. It's just so weird when you and Kite don't stream for a while. Thanks for all the tips and psychology, man. I'm not leaving, man. I'm not leaving. I'm just saying things are gonna, at some point, things are gonna change. I'm still gonna stream. I'm still gonna be here. I'm not going anywhere. If anything, I want to say, if anything, the frequency might go down. So instead of streaming 3 times a week, I might only stream twice. But I'm gonna dedicate that time to make even more content. So I'm not going anywhere. If anything, you're just gonna see different stuff on the channel. That's it. But no worry, Niraj. I'm not going anywhere soon. I'll still be here. I'll still be around. Sounds like you retired from streaming. No, that's not the case at all. I'm like, can we talk about this? I guess we could talk about this. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. One of the goals of the channel for me is I want to get myself more out there, right? I love doing the streams. I love doing this. I love hanging out with you guys. You guys saying hello, hanging out, asking questions, having a good time, learning new stuff. I absolutely love that. The problem with this is that, unfortunately, it doesn't appease to a mass audience. My personal, I guess, what I want to come out of this channel and for me in my YouTube career is that I want to be more known and I want to get myself more out there to in front of more people to help more people. As much as I love doing this, unfortunately, these streams don't do well enough. I want to focus more on helping more people. So in order for me to do that, I do have to make pre-recorded videos. Unfortunately, that's just the way YouTube works. Live streams don't do that well. The shorter the form content, the better it does. You know, pre-recorded videos do well. My content isn't really the best for like TikTok and like YouTube Shorts. You guys do every once in a while do make a YouTube short talking about certain things, like trades and stuff that I made, but it's nothing serious. But unfortunately, because of my trading style, I can't make too many of those. So I'm still gonna be here, but you guys gotta understand. My goal is to help as many people as I can, right? And unfortunately, the live streams isn't necessarily the best way to do so. Can it be done? Absolutely. But I'm more focused on trying to grow the channel. Right now, I think we're sitting at I remember we're sitting at around 1680, right? We've been sitting at 1680 for literally like around. Excuse me. I haven't been able to break 1,700 subscribers in like months. The last 28 days, only 14 subs. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and complain, but I understand that what I do, and because of my style of trading, isn't the most exciting. It's just not going to grow as fast as some other channels that are more appeasing, that kind of give in to what the people want. So I have to supplement that for changing the way I do content in order to reach more people. So at some point we are going to keep growing. But I think I have to focus more on pre-recorded content. Now, I pretty much do this full time, so I have all the time in the world. But because of real life stuff and all that and other stuff going on, at the moment, it's kind of hard for me to juggle both. So I am gonna have to take a step back from streaming to focus on pre-recorded content. But you guys are still gonna see me. I'm not going anywhere. All right, thanks, man. Gotta go. No problem, Supreme Cat. Thank you so much. Cameron Faust started doing the same thing. Short YouTube videos cut from pre-recorded videos. Who is Cameron Faust? Oh, this guy.
Just over.
The only problem, it's weird because like I watched this guy. I forgot which. He used to make like lifestyle videos. I don't think he was he always a trader? I used to watch like his lifestyle stuff. I never realized he was a trader until recently. But this, I don't want to sit here. I'm not gonna sit here and talk. Like, look at, oh my God, the money on the table. I could be wrong. Yeah, like this is a lot. He makes a lot of short form content. And not too many lives. It's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate.
Just like, over a year.
You have to make a certain type of video or certain type of content in order to, you know, get more out there, have your videos get more attention. But that's what I want to do. I'm still gonna live stream, but I want to do something like that. You are correct, though. You meant, yeah, absolutely. Let's see, what are we at? Hour 10. I think we're gonna start winding down here. Unless you guys want to do something. Unless you guys want me to look at other stuff. We're gonna do some Wordle though. Gotta go, fam. Be another scorcher here in Arizona. Gotta get some stuff done. God bless you, man. That is some heat. That is some heat. We good to see you as always. See you on the next one, Drew. Okay. No, there's no S. Okay. Blanc was a Clang. All right, we got to take this serious now. We got to take this serious. No B. AutoCAD. Apparently, there's no B. That was a good guess though. Clang. Blank. I am not gonna rush this, guys. I don't want to mess this up. Guys, give me as many guesses as you can. Again, give me as get me as many guesses as you can. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit. I don't want to mess this up. All right, so we got Clang, blank, blank. So it's either blank or flank. There's no B. I'm gonna go with flank. Niraj, this is on you, my friend. Let's see if you're right. We haven't lost a Wordle in a while. So let's see. We got it. We got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Cool. Good guess, Niraj. Thank you for saving the day. Thank you for saving the day as always. All right, my friends, we are approaching the hour and 15-minute mark of this show today. Unfortunately, nothing too crazy is happening. Usually what ends up happening is I get off stream and then price decides to move. So if anything crazy happens tomorrow, I will be here. But to be honest, I'm not really expecting too much. I think FOMC is next week. So usually it's around FOMC when things start to get a little bit more exciting. So yeah, we'll have to see and wait. We'll have to wait and see what happens until then. But let's say goodbye to everyone. Niraj, Drew, Alif, Umit, Supreme Cat, AutoCAD, Heather, Alif, Steven, BetaBot, Aru, Marcus, J Trader, Smoking Burrow, Bidarius, Smurf, Crypto Dylan, Joe. If I missed you guys, I'm sorry. But let's go ahead and do the thing. Sure, I got my everything's in check. For some reason, I did that like I had headphones on, but I didn't. Silly me. All right. I'm not centered. I feel like I'm off a little bit. Oh, Mark Z, I was just about to leave, my friend. I was just about to leave. Good evening. Thank you so much, Idlecat. I do appreciate it. But it's good to see you as always, Mark. Sorry, man, you missed out. Played Wordle, we did TA. Just saying goodbye. Sorry. All right, let's do the thing. I feel like I'm like, every time I do this, the camera feels like it's crooked. So like when I try to like tilt my head, I feel like I'm like overcorrecting. Right here's a good spot.